phases, quarter-final and semi-final, New Zealand have looked impressive so far. This is the second time they've met in a final this season. It was Hamilton, where Argentina tipped up New Zealand in front of their home crowd. And I'm sure, Madison, that will play on the back of the Kiwis' minds.
Absolutely. I mean, you only get one chance a year to play in front of your home fans, and you relish that, you look forward to it, and to come so close and then stumble at that final hurdle, and now you get a chance for a little revenge. That's, I can't think, it's not going to be in their minds, but it's just all building up. Both of these teams have been on really, really good form today. Argentina and New Zealand pushing through, having really good wins over the teams that had the best form yesterday. So really excited for what is going to be an absolutely incredible game, and I think we're going to hear some of these collisions from up here.
The HSBC LA Sevens final. It is number 1 seed New Zealand against 6th ranked Argentina. It is Argentina who has won 2 of the last 3 though. New Zealand dating back to Singapore and win though in Cape Town as well. We see the team lineups, both teams with their strongest options. Santiago Vera fell injured out of the tournament for Argentina. The youngster Finyang Nanofo missing out for New Zealand, but you see the likes of Solo perhaps coming off the bench for New Zealand, providing the impact. Fraga for Argentina. Some key names in there. Rivolo, Satsuk. Yeshkro has been impressive, of course, Maneta in New Zealand. The experience of Collier and Dixon. The young Tyros, Carter and Leo. One of the greats of the game, Argentina's coach, stands await. The fledgling force of Sevens rugby takes on one of the most dominant nations in the game for the second time this season. It is Argentina against New Zealand for an HSBC World 7 Series title. Madison, that feeling of walking out of the tunnel, the slow march to prepare for the anthems, the formalities in cool conditions. What goes through the minds?
I mean, it's funny how different it can feel from all the other games. The other games, you're running out of the tunnel, you know you're going to the kickoff pretty quickly. In a final, you're wandering out in a very sedate manner. You know you've got the anthems, and Argentina's anthem is quite long, so we've got a while before we'll actually get underway. So for both these teams, you're controlling the emotions, you're controlling that excitement and the energy that you're feeling, but overall this is why you practice, this is why you train, so that in these big moments, all that soreness, everything you've been feeling, that tiredness, it starts to slip away, and it all just becomes excitement about what's in store.
Fans, for those that are willing and able, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthems of Argentina and New Zealand.
It has been a weekend of extremes in Los Angeles, twists and turns, and that is why sport is the best unscripted drama around. And now the final match, New Zealand, the defending champions in Los Angeles, the series leaders as well, the upstarts of Argentina perhaps becoming the great entertainers of the series. And the ball deliverer, a second generation, Kayvon Williams Jr. Getting a moment where Dad usually does in the sun.
Yeah, I love that. Kayvon takes such pride in his kids, and it'll be a cool moment for him. Getting to watch his son run out. He's like, run to me, there we go. Love it. A cool moment for both of them, I'm sure.
Argentina against New Zealand for the LA title. Milestones aplenty. Great servants for each team, and it starts at the hands of Gaston Revol, the all-time World Series appearance leader. Revol sends it down to the New Zealand captain Sam Dixon, who gets ball and man at the same time. Taken in by Santiago Alvarez as boy Amanaki Nicole is bent back in that clearance, but the penalty goes against Argentina, and Leroy Carter spotted some space here and he backs himself full of confidence, Carter, as Nicole is upended by Revol. Ball knocked out of the hands of Dixon. Play on will be the call. In fact, it'll be a knock on against New Zealand.
And Argentina attacking these breakdowns as they love to do. I mean, Hamanaki Nicole is a big man. You don't always see him going backwards. Argentina tackler not able to roll away. So that was the first penalty. And then Argentina getting their hands on the scrum half. It's often a little grey area. Sometimes you get called for playing the 9, but they're judged to have done so fairly. And Argentina will have a scrum and getting the ball back after losing that initial kickoff.
Fourth final of the season for New Zealand. One win, that was in Sydney last time out, just a few weeks ago. Argentina, their second final of the season, and they've started this one well. That's a nice little carry from Bellandini, but the turnover to steal. Locked in over that for New Zealand is Leroy Carter again.
Leroy Carter showing in on both attack and defence. Does a really good job over here of getting his hands on the ball very quickly. Argentina slightly slow with their second man. We saw that a couple times in their semi-final as well. But a missed kick there from New Zealand, and that could be costly.
Tried to peel off too many metres, and it was brought down by Revol. Here's Luciano Gonzalez, who has been super impressive for Los Pumas Sevens today. Oh, was there a little fumble there from Revol? No. They carry on. Bellandini jinking and weaving at 360, wrapped up by Carter. Said that name a handful of times already in this match. Here's Joe Weber making the tackle on Saksuk, who was excellent for Argentina in the semi-final. Quick ball for Revol. Speaking of excellent, Rodrigo Efko, and now Argentina looking to release Down this left side through Gonzalez, this big, robust carrier ripped away by New Zealand, and Rukuli Soa, though, had his foot in touch when it came back, so it'll still be Argentina throw.
That's so unfortunate. Such a good rip by Rokalasawa, but I think just loses track of where he is in relation to the sideline and steps out of bounds there, you can see from that angle. Such good defensive work, slightly unfortunate, and for Argentina, got to be slightly more secure in contact. They lost one in the ruck earlier, now losing it carrying the ball in, and it's an area where they usually do so well. But New Zealand, they come at you in the breakdown, and you've got to be ready for that challenge. Argentina, not quite right so far, but it hasn't cost them, so they've got to make sure they take those warnings, take those lessons, and improve as they go into the rest of this first half.
Revol will look for Alvarez. Down the back it goes, and there's some nice ball for Isco, for Revol again. Argentina building nicely in the opening stages of this final. Moneta's going to have to go in and play halfback. Likes to find a gap himself. He's got Revol for Gonzalez. Nicole chasing him, misses. And now the ball for Alvarez again. Offload sticks. There's Gonzalez once more. He's been in the thick of the action, pumping those legs. Dixon, has he wrapped that up for New Zealand? Yes, he has. The skipper comes in with an important touch. Gives it an oi, what are you doing to my teammates? Let's get rolling. Weber holds this pass up and floats it wide for Moses Leo. Open territory. Look at Manetta streaking across. Leo, Manetta, and it's going to be Moses Leo to go end to end and open the scoring for New Zealand.
Well, there aren't many guys who can make it down the field with Marcos Manetta bearing down on you. He actually had a pretty good angle. I thought he might get him for a second, but Leo looks across, sees him coming, and just tips into a slightly higher gear. It started with that work in the breakdown. Sam Dixon does so much of the unglamorous work for this New Zealand Sevens team. It was quick hands from there, and then Moses Leo has the pace, goes the length of the field, and puts New Zealand up in the first half here.
He had a little look, didn't he, Leo, as Manetta just came steaming across field. Had enough of a head start on the Argentine flyer, and it's New Zealand who get the first score, 5 points to 0. New Zealand restart off the boot of Rukuli Soa. Isco is just superb in the air. Revolt. And now Gonzalez once more, trying to get away from Carter, who clings on for grim death, then tries to wrap up the ball and try to keep those knees, which eventually get to the ground. They held Gonzalez up well. Revol once more through the middle, and now Isco, ball in one hand. Moneta switching back, gets rid of Dixon, gets rid of Collier. Leo comes over the top and finally stops him, losing control on the ground. Was Argentina the finest of margins? It almost opened up for Money Moneta.
Yeah, Manetta just coming on the switch, spotting Joe Weber, chasing hard across the field, able to use his footwork to about Sam Dixon, but it's that fourth New Zealand defender coming across. Lehil backtracking as well, and you see that desire from the New Zealand defence. They're hunting for each other, they're working for each other. Even when one of them has to track out of position, they've got those extra defenders coming across, and that can be the difference in these big games, is that little extra bit of work, making Manetta make one more sidestep, and that forces the error there. And New Zealand now, with a minute and a half left in this half, will have a prime opportunity to put themselves 2 tries up going to half-time.
There was just a sprinkle of rain as the teams walked out just before the anthems, just to
ready? I'll call
make that surface a little greasy, the ball a little greasy.
Crouch!
And Marcos Manetta taking a break for Argentina. We often see this. He comes off with a minute, 2 minutes left in the half to get a little extra break at half-time, and then come on halfway through the second half to have a real impact at the end of the game.
Rukuli Soa feeds it away for Joe Weber, and Weber releasing Carter down this left side. He'll back himself into the corner here. Leroy Carter, Revol can't get near him, and New Zealand get a second. They jump out to a good lead here in the final. Leroy Carter.
And simple attack from New Zealand, picking to the left off this scrum. And I think it's Joaquin Pellandini who just steps in, maybe thinking that Gaston Revol is getting beaten, but it makes it way too easy for New Zealand to release Carter. And when he's got that sort of space, he's going to make it to the line. So Argentina put themselves in a hole here with a couple defensive mistakes. Good attack by New Zealand as well. But 2 wide tries, we'll see if they can make the conversion to extend it past the 10-point lead. But New Zealand getting the better of this first half. Oh, and here's a fantastic kick from Rocco Lasoa, seeing why he's leading the points charts in the World Series this year. But New Zealand have had much the better of it in this first half, and now it's on to Argentina. How do you respond? How do you react to this adversity?
The thing we love about sevens, there's always a stat, there's always history. 12 points to nil is what New Zealand led Argentina by in Hamilton just a couple of weeks back. And it was Argentina winning it 14-12.
And there it is, that could be a big moment. Rocco Lasoa so good on the conversion, doesn't happen on the kickoff. And so now it gives Argentina a really good attacking platform to try and get some momentum at the end of this first half. Obviously, ideally they'd like to score, but even so, they'd like to inject some energy, some enthusiasm, some positivity here.
So Huda has gone for half-time, but we play through Revolt. And now a little chip kick ahead, it's deep. Flaha might have the pace here on New Zealand. Oh, just the kick back in field fell kindly for Amanaki Nicole, who'll just bump his way a little further upfield. New Zealand, they want to play on even though the siren's gone for half-time. They might try and find a little seam, a splinter in this Argentina defence. Carter now over on the right. Carter trying to take them on around the outside. Oh, Leroy Carter is playing a blinder in the first half of this final. Boom, far away for a second.
Leroy Carter finishing off the team move. I mean, he's had a fantastic day for New Zealand and scoring a great try, showing he's got the pace. I think Alvarez knew he was in trouble here. You can see him dashing, but Carter slows down. That forces Alvarez just slightly slow up, and that conserves enough space for Carter to burn his way around the outside. It started with a fantastic covering defensive play by Amanaki Nicole. He was on the far side, but spotted that the kick was going to come in behind from Argentina. Makes the play, and it shows the total team effort that this is. Carter's the one who gets the headlines. He's the one who finishes it off. But it started with the big forward, Amanaki Nicole.
17 points to nil. New Zealand lead Argentina at half-time in the final.
Check. 1-2.
To the strains of the sevens anthem, the second half about to get underway. It's New Zealand 17, Argentina 0 in the final. Soaring high once more. So proficient in the air, Argentina, and particularly Rodrigo Izquierdo. They need to strike early in this half. It is he the man to do it. The number one gets through one. He'll hold that ball vice-like in one hand, spills out the side. Knock-on comes off New Zealand hands, and the captain is there for Argentina. Here's Santi Alvarez in his 50th tournament. Tackles crept up, though, from Nicole, and Argentina get a penalty.
And can tend to slow the game down now. They're 3 tries down, but that can't cause you to panic. You can't think, we need to just start doing things that we don't normally do. If Argentina are going to get back into this game, it's from doing the things that have brought them success all day. From being half-nosed, working together, fast in their threes, and then when they've got their opportunities, taking them ruthlessly.
Argentina has individual brilliance, but they also have a team ethos that has seen them score, and particularly today, some quite superb tries. See what they can create here through Pellandini. And now Wade, that's gone through the hands but landed kindly for Agustin Flaha. Made back again for Wade and Pellandini. Iskro goes wide again for Alvarez. Santiago Alvarez can't get around Rocco Lasoa. New Zealand's line firm at the moment, but Argentina press and probe. Oh, big collision, body contact. Leo and Osaksu. Iskro trying to track off field, gets the offload away for Flaha. He's stopped by Weber. It was a good defensive read from New Zealand. Trouble still there though, and eventually the dam breaks. And Tobias Wade will go in for Argentina. They're going to have a quick check at the grounding here. But Wade strides through for Argentina.
Yeah, I think just looking at how close he got to the dead ball line here. Yeah, I think that's good for me. We can give that pretty quickly and move on.
Ruben, have a decision.
Thank you.
You may award the try.
Thanks.
Well, they had to be first to score in this half, Madison.
They really did. Argentina had to seize the momentum. And they did it with Marcos Mineta on the bench, so he's still there resting. Now Luciano Gonzalez looks like he's taking a break as well. So Argentina using their whole roster, but they've struck back. They got the conversion as well to 17-7. 5 minutes to go. They're right in this game, but this is a crucial kickoff and an absolutely crucial period of the match. If New Zealand can seize control, go through some phases, start to drain some time off this clock, it's going to make it more and more difficult for Argentina.
Restart goes about 12 metres and it's knocked down by Argentina, and quick to that loose ball was Herman Schulz. Flat across goes this impressive 20-year-old Agustin Vraha. And now a little stab kick through for Escrows. Leo going to be able to sweep across there and tidy up. He does, and then gets away from the first and then second Argentine defender, Moses Leo. Will lay this one back, so crisis averted for New Zealand for now. Still pegged inside their 22. They might look to break out here though. Rocco Lesor is full of running and confidence. Through the dummy, and then eventually the ball got hit hard and Weber didn't control it. A shake of the head and a wipe of the brow for Joe Weber.
New Zealand were on there. Rocco Lesor. He's got Joe Weber outside him, who, I mean, he can get lost in some of these New Zealand flyers, but Joe Weber has plenty of pace on his own, and you get no one in front of him from 60 metres out. I think he's probably going in there. In Rocco Lesor, such a good player, but maybe made the wrong decision there. Should have moved it. And New Zealand spurn a prime opportunity to put themselves maybe out of Argentina's reach, and the error gives Argentina a big opportunity now. Marcos Mineta back on the pitch. They're going to use him in those wide channels, and I'd love to see him going up against some of these New Zealand flyers.
Moses Leo heads to the side for New Zealand. Rodrigo Isco for Argentina. So Mineta back out there and Roderick Solo on for New Zealand.
That's gone for New Zealand. Taking off Leo, and you can bring on Solo. I mean, yeah, some incredible players in that All Black Sevens team.
How's the matchup as they come this way, and it's going to go into the hands of Moneta, and he's got Solo on him. Solo's going to take him on. Little chip kick ahead this time for Moneta's. Swept up by Brady. Rush into the fold as well, and that's a good play from Rush. Nicole throws a big looping wide ball to Dylan Collier, another of the milestone men this weekend, and he hacks one downfield to big open territory. The bounce is going to beat everybody over the sideline, but it will also eat up time on the clock.
New Zealand Sevens defending Marcos Mineta very well. They're dropping off just enough and then having the covering defense on the inside. That's the third time in this game that New Zealand have recovered a kick through from Argentina. It's a big tactic that Argentina employ, putting those kicks in behind. New Zealand Sevens showing they're wary to it. They're aware that it's going to happen and having defenders ready to cover it.
Oh, it's bold hanging off Mineta as Naruhi Magavi Black comes into the thick of it for New Zealand. 10 points the difference. Argentina, the only team to score in this half so far, and they've had plenty of running as well. Usaksuk gets through a couple. Looking to pierce this New Zealand defence. Schulz, and now across Alvarez. Out wide as, Agustin Fraha just stepping his way through the New Zealanders and around the outside. And they are right back into it, Los Pumas.
Oh, they're really coming back now. Argentina making this a fascinating game. What they did really well here was they isolated some of their faster players on the big New Zealand forwards. First Amanaki Nicole and then Sam Dixon. Just got slightly beaten on the outside, and that's what opened up the space. And Fraga goes in on the edge. Looks like Sam Dixon might have taken a little cleat to the face there. But yeah, that's what you want to do. I mean, these New Zealand, some of these big New Zealand Sevens forwards, they're so good in the breakdown. But if you can isolate them in wide areas against faster players, that's where you can exploit the advantage of the size versus speed spectrum. And so Argentina doing so well. Conversion no good. So 5 points up, a minute and a half left in this match. And we are very finely poised here. And Argentina's so good at the kickoff. They've got one of the best teams on the circuit at it. And they're going to have to go up and get here. They love to go to Alvarez here on the left side. We can see him there. So be interesting to see if they go ahead. He's the only guy on the Argentina side not isolated against the pod. But we did see Argentina win a kickoff earlier against one of these pods. So we'll see where they go.
Yes. Time on.
90 seconds on the clock, 5 points in it. Title at stake, and then a massive mistake from Argentina off the restart. Pressure moment, and they didn't execute one of their best plays.
And for Argentina,
Come on, please.
that could be that. New Zealand
Scrum.
7's so good at game management, winding
scrum.
the clock down, doing exactly what they need to do at this stage of the game, going for the scrum, and I'm sure in no particular hurry to get there. That's going to take a good 30 seconds off the clock. New Zealand 7s will have the ball. They go through 2 or 3 phases. It's going to be very difficult for Argentina to get their hands on the ball. But
Come on,
Argentina, they're going to be flying into these breakdowns. So it's getting the risk reward of targeting the breakdown, but no, don't overcommit and give the try to New Zealand.
Set!
Mugabe Black, his eyes up. Which way will he go? He's going to scoot to the left with Roderick Solo. Steps through one and just holds on to the ball. Thought he might have juggled that out of the carry, but held on just enough. Here's Lewis Ormond, some fresh legs for New Zealand as well, another of the big men. Argentina, and that'll be a penalty as Nicole had it on hands. Rush taps and goes quickly. Argentina struggling to get back now. Mugabe Black. New Zealand looking to defend this LA title. They've got 30 seconds and only a 5-point lead as a big flat ball goes wide for Amanaki Nicole. As long as New Zealand have the ball, they have the match at the moment. But Argentina will press and push and probe and see if they can force an error. Solo through one. The offload is there for Weber. Back in field, Mugabe Black can't handle it, but it's Rush. Quickest to the loose ball, and Brady Rush. He thought he'd won it for New Zealand in Hamilton a month ago, and he's won it here in LA instead.
Brady Rush going in to win it for New Zealand, seal the win. Argentina so close. That ball bounced on the ground with, I think, 3 seconds on the clock. But New Zealand fastest to it, do get the try and seal the win to get their revenge from Hamilton. It was this offload here from Weber. But for the bounce of the ball, it sits up for Brady Rush, and he says, you know what, I'm going to end this right here. He loves playing on American soil, and he gets the win for the All Black Sevens.
A famous name in New Zealand Rugby Sevens, now carving his own path. Brady Rush comes up clutch, and New Zealand go back-to-back in Los Angeles. They go back-to-back on the series. Winners in Sydney, now winners in LA. New Zealand the champions again on US soil. 22, they beat Argentina 12.